and we're keeping a close eye on it again on News Network.
Mr. Fox?
But things change, so politics don't never be facts. Politics be perceptions and gossip. That's how politics is. branch in the street. That's Nagico on Mackey Street. Judy's Bread Shop, that's the bread from the pan to your hand. When you go on the street and you pass through while you and the Windsor Park, you go about 200 feet more to the north, and you'll see the line to the window. They're waiting for the freshly baked bread. The bread that doesn't have to clear custom, bread that doesn't have to clear immigration, the bread that doesn't have no preservatives, for you don't know when it was baked, you don't know when it was baked, when it was shipped, it doesn't have any born on date. This bread at Judy's Bread Shop from the pan, as it hot out the pan, to your hand. Bits, that's Bahamas ink and toner solution. Listen, you know school open back up. You know they send them homework. You know one time ago they used to give you homework you read in your book. Now they modernize and they're catching up the time. They send you an email and they send you emails and WhatsApp and tell you, this you have to print this and that. They said get your printer, go by Bahamas ink and toner solution. Get your small printer. Some HP Hewlett Packard or some Epson or Canon, listen, or Brother. They have all kinds of different sorts of printer. Listen, the best printer I ever had from printing for the last, my business, baby, in business from 1998. The best printer I ever buy is the Epson 3210. I print over 8,000 copies before I had to before I had to put ink in it. 8,000 copies. And it ain't that big, maybe about a foot long, a foot wide printer. And it gives you 4 different features. And I print on those glossy papers so my pictures come out perfect because I do plenty projects and proposals trying to get jobs from governments and different ministries. And I use that printer to get my work done. That's Bits on Mount Royal Avenue. That's on Mount Royal Avenue. That's in the Apex building on Mount Royal Avenue. That's it. Pay a visit and let them know you heard our ad on Primetime and Independent. Our phone number is 328-5249, 328-5249. So if your office needs a printer and you're tired of calling those companies to come fix their bad watchlist printer, give her a call, 328-5249. Well, tonight, I have a good friend of mine, a co-host, who always on the show whenever I call him. If he's here and he ain't busy, he don't hesitate to come because he like to opine and conversate on the issues. This is Bahamas. He like the Bahamas, just like me. And the two of us from Andres, the two of us is Johnsons. What a coincidence. And I from Little Creek, he from High Rock. The Johnsons down in High Rock. And he's in studio with me tonight. And we're going to chat and opine on some issues. And to the end of the show, he's doing some great work with the young kids, with tennis. And if anyone who's listening want to offer a sponsor and help with the things he's doing with the kids, them and put them nets and getting balls and bats and whatever, the net bats or whatever, you could give us a call or even send me a text at 376-2301, 376-2301. But last week, we was busy on a conversation that we didn't have a chance to talk about politics. I had Dario Torelli in the studio with me last week. And we never get a chance to talk of some of the things that's happening in the country. And I noticed inside the papers, the Central Bank of the Bahamas. The Central Bank of the Bahamas is speaking greatly of this government. The Central Bank is a neutral entity arm of government. The Central Bank's report, the economy continues to expand. And this is in the Guardian, the Nassau Guardian, the 6th of September. And it states that the economy continues to expand. And I think that they are right on. If you look at the amount of cars that on our Waki that hasn't clear custom, I'm talking about the car ship comes at least once a week. One time it used to come once a year, now it's once a week. Things got to be up on the upswing and doing good in this country. The car ship can't stop coming. You have Tropical doing sometimes 4 and 5 days a week, Tropical shipping. It's doing sometimes 4 and 5 days when the common practice is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. but I don't. And I see them on Sunday and all sometime. And MSC bringing those bigger ships. You know, one time we used to have those ships would just bring layers of containers. Now you have those Titanic container ships. And things are good in the country. Things are picking up, and the central bank is just speaking the truth. I see the airport is asking for, I think, what, another 35, 31, 32 million or so. They're asking for more money to expand the airport in some way where they could facilitate a greater number of passengers and travelers, because they say that they have surpassed numbers that never ever passed through the airport in one physical year yet under this New Day administration. And I thought that seeing the central bank report that the economy is continues to expand, I think that was great news, and I think I should bring that. I'm looking for the opposition to, make a comment on that. I mean, see, leadership, one would say leadership will show you how bigger pants they have on. You would say, listen, in the Tribune I saw where the central bank report, the economy continues to expand, and whatever this government is doing, continue. That's leadership. Never mind that you're in opposition, but you speak good when good need to, and when it's bad, you wail the backside. And I think that I didn't catch where the opposition either don't read the papers or they don't want to speak good of the Bahamas if they ain't in control, and it show lack of leadership when that is missing. Right? Also, that it's stating that there's a report that some 200 million has been the deficit has been applied to the deficit. Let me read it. The national debt drops by 200 million in June. In the June quarter alone, the Bahamas national debt fell by more than 200 million during the 3 months to end June 2024. So before the end of the fiscal period, that the national debt has dropped, and as total repayments exceeded new borrowings by the government. The Central Bank unveiled the economic review for the 2024 second quarter, added that the country debt only increased by a muted 3.6 million over the 12 months to end June to close the fiscal year at a total of 11.653 billion. And before I bring in my guests, I must say that in 1992, I was doing some research to find out what the national debt when the great late Sir Lynden Pinland left office. And in 1992, the national debt was about little over 800 million. And 25 years of the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, and the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie. And if you remember, they had a law firm called the Delbourne House on Victoria Avenue, two former law partners, two former PLPs. They had a law firm there on Victoria Avenue, right? Would carry you up to the hospital. And the name Delbourne House. And the first one of them, former law, now make sure you get me clearly, they were former law partners. I think they don't have the law firm no more. And at the time, the national debt was some 800 or a little over 800 million after 25 years of the great late Sir Lynden Pinland and that crew of great men, like the late Loftus Roker, Arthur D. Hanna, the late Arthur D. Hanna, the late Carlton Francis, and all those, Paul Adley, and all those great men. 25 years, and only a national debt of 800 and a little over 800 million. After 1992 to 2017, the national debt grew based on the limited access information from 825 million in 1992 and 2017 when those two former law partners left the scene. The national debt going to some over 9 billion over $9 billion based on the limited access to information that is allowed, and then another additional $2.9 billion was added on during the Free National Movement led government by the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, which plenty of persons still trying to figure out how so much money was borrowed when $2 billion based on the reports was given or sent to the Bahamas in reference to Dorian. And they still was borrowing billions of dollars under the Free National Movement, which it appears that they did that intentionally to make sure they don't come back in power. But I'm saying good evening to my special guest, Mr. Nolan Johnson. How you doing, sir?
Great. And pleasant good evening to the Bahamas, and it's good to be back in your cars, in your homes. I know most of you will be watching the football, but take it easy.
Go ahead. Yeah, I began the show by stating that a $200 million national debt drops by in June quarter. The central bank is reporting, which has got to be good news in order for them to report it, that the national debt dropped to almost a quarter, almost 200 million, almost a quarter billion during the month of June, and that the economy, which is a good thing, that it continues to expand, which means that if you continuously expand your economy, then you could continuously to rise the debt. You don't want your debts succeed your GDP. So as the economy expands, it's a good thing. And Mr. Johnson, I know you have a brilliant son who's a financier, but you talented yourself. Don't try that.
Yeah, some things rub off on them too. But yes, in that concept, the report of 200 million is being paid on the fiscal on the debt at the end of the fiscal period, which is good. But there's also one thing that I always like to keep in mind, and it's simply this. To me, I see a realization of an expanding economy correlates directly to unemployment. If unemployment is still relatively high, I am not sure there is a trueness of an expansion of the economy. I'm not saying the economy is doing bad, but it doesn't suggest to me it's doing for what some may be suggesting as overly great, and unemployment is still extremely high. Somehow, the growth of the economy have to push unemployment down. And if unemployment now is still around 16, 17% for a country of 400,000 people, then who are the people who are really working in this country?
Well, I would say that Bahamians are, based on the amount of tourists I see on Bay Street. I trying to get in Royal Bank, and they stopping me, asking me for taxi. I talking about 4 and 5 different sets of tourists asking you to call a taxi for them. So if things bad in the country or in job unemployment, Bahamians must don't want to work. Bahamians gotta be lazy, because foreigners are wicked. The Free National Movement some years ago bribed about some $44 million in work permits that they collected. And if Bahamians don't want to work in this economy that the central bank, a neutral arm of the governmental system, is saying that the economy continuously expanding. It expand and stop. It continuously expanding, which is a great thing. 200 million on the debt. So when you put 200 million on national debt, and reports that shows that the economy is expanding from Standard & Poor's and Moody's, foreign financial arms, things gotta be good. People gotta get up. I mean, it's no make sense you looking for no government job, because the money governments pay, or what they have for them set pay rate, is low. The PLP has increased it, the minimum wage from, I think it's from 210 to 250, and they try and increase it now to 300. So, government job ain't the way to go. So if you home sitting now waiting for a call from government, man, listen. Be creative. Be innovative. Get up. Start your own business. I used to work when I came to high school at age 15 in 1991. I used to work for very different companies, whoever offered better opportunities for me, I went. And the last company I worked for was Moscow. Jimmy Moscow. I used to work for Bahamas Marine. And I leave Bahamas Marine January 1st, 2000. January 1st, 2000, I quit. I never worked for no one since. I never worked for another company since. I was self-employed. And I go on my own. I created a business, and then I created another business. Every time I see opportunities, I create a business to fit and suit that opportunity. And I end up with 5 different businesses. And I never see my daddy in my entire life. I never get none from him, never inherit him. He's still living. Never get none from him, never talk to him, never get none from him. So it ain't like I had something to start with. I start from scratch, saving your money. You ain't gonna go spin. You ain't gonna go buy a number. Right? And rest is history. So other Bahamians in this country who come from the island or from Nassau have the same ability. So things happen in this country. Sometimes you can't just look for a job. You gotta help yourself. Wash car, sell coconut. You got all kinds of different opportunities. You could create craft. You could do all. You could draw. You could carve wood. You could do all kinds. People Bahamians. Listen to me. I been asking for drivers for my dump truck. I been asking for welders. BDVI being open from the 80s, teaching Bahamians how to weld. Why can't I find no welder? You mean all the welders leave and go to the States? All the welders. I been looking for underwater welder now for 20 years. Someone who's cut metal underwater. Someone who's weld hole on steel underwater. If they call me tonight, tomorrow, they'll be hired. 376-2301. 376-2301. Nolan Johnson, a.k.a. Independent Taker. Listen to me. Plenty work in this country. Bahamians gotta want to work, and they gotta accept jobs that you might be a desire. Right? I always want to be a lawyer. But I still ain't a lawyer yet. I have a law degree, but I still ain't a lawyer. Because I doing things that not what I want to do as a school, but then I surviving, I living, and I functioning. So some jobs gonna come with that you mightn't want to be, you mightn't want to do, or you mightn't intended to do. But then you do that and make time to help yourself, better condition yourself, and even save some money to open up your own business.
You're absolutely right. I don't always agree with you too many times, right? But this time
this time you read me.
Yeah, next time. But in essence, we have to be just as creative and innovative as the changing times. As times change, we've got to be able to change with those times, because things that may not be as vibrant 5 years before could be very vibrant 5 years later, which means that we've got to try to create an environment that encourage people to develop small business, because when there's a development of small business in any country, when there's economic growth, the sustainability of that economic growth is greater and better when small business helps drives that growth, as opposed to what may be the mega companies, if you want to use that term. When I say mega, they're talking about just large companies. If we can get enough smaller companies to really grow, start to develop, you'll be surprised to know where this country can be economically within a 5 or 10 year period.
I'll tell you this. the central bank is saying that the government has slashed the deficit. The economy is growing, $200 million paid on the national debt. The government has slashed the deficit by some 65%. 65%. The government has slashed the deficit. Despite that, VAT was undershoot, meaning that they didn't collect it, the $3 billion or $2.5 billion that was projected. They still slashed the deficit. That means that they call it fiscal prudence, is being
prudence.
What you call it?
Fiscal prudence.
Fiscal prudence.
Yeah.
Prudence are being
good attention being paid to
the national finance. Because if you could put more on the national debt than usual, 200 million, slash the deficit by 65%, and then the economy growing, and things happening in this country, and I think that the opposition should use this opportunity to nod to the government that some things and show where they'll do better if they was in charge of the country. Instead of 65%, show where they'll have a deficit of maybe 95% or 85%. And 400 billion being added to the national debt. That's the job of the opposition should do, instead of just talking fool. And I would like
Go
to.
ahead. I would like to throw something out, just off the cuff, and I just saw in the newspaper that Walker's Key and Treasure Key, they're both up for should I say revamping. And I've worked at both of those resorts. I worked at Walker's Key for 4 years, and I was in Treasure Key for about 2.5, almost 3 years. And they're good, great resorts, and they're both in Abaco. What still puzzles me from time to time, and I would speak to Walker's Key first. What puzzles me from time to time, that while we give or provide sometimes opportunities for Bahamians, we don't give them that the slice or the large slice of that economic pie or opportunity that they should get. And I feel like after the hurricane destroyed Walker's Key, and Bahamians should have been encouraged to really develop that. Even if you had a consortium of Bahamians to do it, and unlike how the port was developed, where only certain people can really buy into it properly. And these are the kind of opportunities that will allow Bahamians to become the kind of developer of this country that this country really needs. I don't have a difficulty with foreigners coming in to develop, but I still believe that somehow we've got to find a better way, that Bahamians can now be the drivers of our economy. We've got to try to find a better way to do this.
I must concur with you. I wholeheartedly agree with the sentiments that you just uttered, because and how you use the port, Prince George Dock, as the example, I salute you with that. Why? I told the FNM that was a bad idea. Listen to me. Simple as the tugs and barges in the country. If the company come here from Turkey, I think it's Turkey or one of the far country, come here to do work, they're getting Prince George Dock. The FNM give them the Prince George Dock. Tell me automatically have 49%. I think you have 49%, and the government of 49. They was granted 49%, because 2% is the FNM created a Y foundation or something like that, which I never hear about it no more. So I don't know if this money, the 2% going there, was supposed to help youths in this country and scholarships. So I mean, these people, I don't understand what they be doing, right? And I like how you utilize that example. It's a perfect example. Because the fellas who's there, they don't speak English. You know, and I have 3 thugs, I have 3 badges, and I wasn't given a job. Foreigners come here, they was allowed to raise the money. They get Prince George, 49% of the value of Prince George free. Right? This company who take over Prince George shop. They get 49%. Half of them give that to them. Like they own it. I ain't even had authority to give them, but you know, that's another story for another day. Then they allow them to raise money locally. To fund the job. So, I mean, what Global Holdings bring you? I mean, what they bring? Just exploits who know but extending the door? I mean, you right. They tired of these foreigners coming. I tired of them coming here and doing jobs that Bahamians are capable, able to do. If they had the ability, you could hire. See, with the internet and the world it's sitting in your lap, you could hire a structural engineer. You could hire a marine engineer. You could hire scientists and things, man. You could hire. You get companies who will provide you with service and managing and even operating and organizing. Whatever you need, you could hire. You don't have to give them everything. Days gone where you give a foreigner 10,000 acres to develop and then allow them to sell it and use the money to develop it. I mean, they gotta bring no money. They don't have to bring no money. Them days, them old adage and way of business has passed. It's past 8 o'clock already. We'll take our first commercial break. This is Primetime with Independent. My name is Nolan Johnson. In studio with me tonight is Mr. Nolan Johnson. Listen, we'll continue our conversation as soon as we return after our first commercial break. After break. Go to break, producer.
Cancer. It's a word no one wants to hear. But at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, we hear it every day. It's a word we've dedicated our lives to overcoming by changing the way patients are treated. And now we're part of City of Hope, which is one of the nation's top 10 cancer hospitals. Together, we'll combine leading-edge clinical research with precision cancer treatment, so we can be there when you need us most. So when you hear the word cancer, there's another word that should come to mind. Hope.
You've dreamt it. You've worked hard for it. And now you've got it. You deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor and know that you're covered in case of a disaster, like an unexpected fire or a vehicular collision. At Magic Insurances, we focus on settling your claims quickly and fairly so you can get back to enjoying your life. Magic Insurances, fast, fair, and always there.
We're back live with a great show. Love every Sunday. This is Primetime with Independent Thinker. Listen, we're on Primetime tonight. And we are talking about the reports and some information that coming from the central bank, the bank that investors tune into, stock markets follow, and you know they are the eyes and the ears of the stability of a country in terms of investment. That's the central bank. And they're saying that earlier in the show, I began by stating how the central bank stated and iterated that the government, that the economy is expanding, continues to expand, which is a sign, if you're a financial or someone who deals with finances, you know that's a good indication that things are good. And you know, a layman like me wouldn't go looking for statistics and comparison with statistics and quarterly and I look and I see plenty new car coming from Japan, plenty new car coming from different countries. I mean different countries in this world coming to the Bahamas. I see our Waukee, that new lot that they get under there for them, a big portion of land that the FNM give them. When I see that full of cars, I know things good. I ain't know what nobody say. Things good. People buying plenty cars, people wicked. You can't buy all them Japanese car for the car money costs like $100, $200 now. But the shipping is $4,000. Right. The shipping to Nassau is $4,000. Right. So, you got to be making money in order for these. And that's one of the indications. Many people getting their car washed. The car wash, people line up to wash their car. There are things for people to do home when things bad. Right? So there are indications that show that things are good in the country now. I ain't saying it'll be like this forever, I ain't saying, man, this couldn't tell next 3-4 years. No. At the time now, the reports that the central bank are given can be proven that is correct. Things are good in the country. Mr. Johnson, I noticed on Long Wharf, tourists them I talking about, they pile right up, jumble up on one another. That's how much tourists are trying to fit on Long Wharf. I talking about all along the road, tourists on 2-wheel bike, 4-wheel bike. You got some new cars that look like golf cart, we don't make no noise. They long, they hold like maybe 15 or 18 or 20 people. They full of people going up and down, people talking, getting them tours and stuff like that. And so, these are indications, these creative behaviors, because you go on Long Wharf, people renting lawn chairs. One time ago, only on Paradise Island, that is happening. On Nassau side now, that happening. People renting umbrellas. People renting lawn chairs. I got motorbikes, all kind of small Bahamians, ordinary Bahamians are renting scooters. If you go downtown and take 10 minutes or an hour and you watch for yourself, which gives me, I ain't no statistic, I ain't got no MBA and finance or economic. But once I see things that got to make me believe that things are good. And I'm asking the New Day government, because I vote DNA, to continue on the things that they're doing, right? And listen, press gas. What would you say?
Let me share this with you. I'm going to throw a curveball here. I used to work on a cruise ship for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
I know what cruise ship passengers are like.
Oh, you're calling the line? So I didn't know that. You had 2 callers on the line. I didn't know that. Primetime independent dingo. Primetime independent dingo. I didn't know that, man. You gotta say something. Primetime didn't at least see like them flashing. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. You hear me?
I can hear you live. Go ahead, you're live.
Yes, sir. Good night. Good topic. First of all, I get right to it, but I ain't keep it on me. I've been in 6 years. I've been in this country for a while. First of all, I don't believe the central bank is neutral. I mean, if you're all going to buy into that, that's fine.
Okay.
Whatever government power controls the central bank. That's how I feel. Now,
You may be right.
now let me tell you this. This thing we're talking about, how much money government make a break money, they're not being doing away. It's just like the government selling away from it. That's the only lot.
Hold on now. Say it slow. I will get that. Say it again.
That the government is selling away from it. That's the immigration or not is a big way to make sure. That's how I feel. I just let them know how I feel. They ain't gonna stop that. They're not going to stop that.
No, listen, hold on, caller, before you go any further, and you so on to something, because I remember when the former Minister of Immigration, Brent Simonet, the Honorable Brent Simonet, he was bragging that the government made some $44 million on work permit when the unemployment rate at the time under the FNM was 17.9%.
Of course,
And he was bragging, 44 million they made.
I am in the construction field. The Indians, I see Indian runners, Indian messengers. And listen to me. If everyone is doing work, the Indians can't get the job. If you're an immigrant in this country, you're living in paradise. It's paradise for immigrants. It's the playground for the wealthy. And if you behave in it, it's all. That's basically how it is. I'm trying to tell you, a war on the front burner. All Oil will be there. We can't get it no more. Now, all this money this government says the economy expanding. You trying to tell me that the Hindu is getting help just because of bad management, because of all this money around? Why is we get so much help? People getting help. Inflation is still at an all-time high, and still getting higher. Since COVID, some prices gone up and they never gone down. But here's the expanding and all this bragging going on.
Yeah, but
I don't feel it.
yeah, but caller, prices won't go down until fuel go down. I must tell you that. Prices will see. We don't buy fuel, and I continuously say this for the last 14 years I've been on the radio. Until the Bahamian people realize the power they have, right? I mean, listen, how is it that Dominican Republic, where the Haitians come from, is Dominican Republic? That's where the Haitians come from, because Haiti and Dominican Republic is one land, Hispaniola, and they're only separated by imaginary line. So the land where the Haitians come from, light bill over there is $15 and people allow it, right? And their air conditioning don't turn off, right? So why is it that we paying light bill of, light bill a day? My light bill is $1,300 some dollars a day, right? How is it that we realize that our light bill high? It causing problem with businesses, but we still ain't buying fuel from people who drill oil. Why they don't come and tell the Bahamian people what it is, why we can't buy fuel from people who drill oil? If we buy fuel directly from people who drill oil, it will cause the price to drop the next day. How is it that we can't do it? Why are we not buying fuel from people who Santo Domingo buying oil from? Why are we not buying oil from? Tell the people, say, listen, we cannot buy oil from them because we buying oil from some Americans who once we continuously buy oil from them, our dollar will stay pegged to them. But then all we gotta do is stay buying oil from them, cut the rates and spending, bring down the national debt to zero, and then you can cut loose and go buy oil cheaper. Cause see, we only bound tied to the tree because we have a national debt with a very fragile economy, tourism. But if we change tourism, if we diverse the economy, where you have different financial strengths, then you would not depend on tourism. And because when tourism is very fragile, tourism is like egg or ice cream. You understand? If it drop, it crack. If it get hot, it melt. And we gotta change. We gotta diversify the economy.
I can hear your frustration. You're very frustrated. But the problem in this country is corruption, and I ain't gonna mince no words with it. It is corruption. Now, when the former Prime Minister went somewhere around the world and he admitted that to the world, when he gets so much help. But that's the truth.
Yeah, but listen, and Dr. Menace, when he said that, right? It's around the same time, I believe my mind serves me correct, when he's questioning how the Foreign Affairs office was buying bed and mirror for thousands and thousands of dollars.
It's corruption.
Yeah, when he was in charge at the time, when he going around the world and saying, but corruption, And the same time, the Bahamians on social media questioning the rug cost must be $20,000 for a rug.
I remember that.
All right then.
It's so interesting. I have the opportunity to rub shoulders with our brothers from the Big Island in the South. They are really advancing in this country. A lot of them now are on the street. They're pushing them all around now. They get car and truck. They're driving around like me. They're bouncing. They're playing their music. Now, here's the thing. Mr. Johnson, all of them their license. They can hardly read English. How do they get these licenses?
No, not only that. I was by Royal Bank calling taxi for some tourists who stopped me. Can you call a taxi for me, please? I said, okay. I called, the fellow who come there, he could hear he's either Jamaican or Haitian, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't have a problem. Because if the government, if they marry a Bahamian woman, the law say they can get papers. If they marry a Bahamian, but this was a man, all right? They can hear Bahamian. And I trying to figure, I was puzzled, and I ain't saying it for a tourist, but I was puzzled, I didn't want to ask him. He was a taxi driver. He showed up. He pulled up in the taxi. He pulled up in the taxi. I stop him. But he can't talk English properly, right? So he ain't being along. So I trying to figure out how he get a taxi license. And it appears that he had a license maybe with 5-6 years, maybe when the FLM was in power. But I don't understand what it is, right? That we do. I asked a question years ago. What is it that the Bahamian have or do in this country that a foreigner can't do or have? And no one can answer me.
That's not the My thing is this, right? These people can buy any document they want, and I'm insinuating that because they have it. They buy any document they want.
And you could be.
They're no longer limited to no gardener. The entire Bahamas and at every level is what they into. And not just them, it is some other people. You got, I guess, the Indians, Filipinos, they buy everything they want. So when people come down with the Bahamas is not corrupt, the couple of backdoors on every government department. There may be one front door, but that department lined with backdoors. Because for these people to advance like this and cannot speak English, they cannot tell you what the street sign really saying. How do they get these things?
All right, caller. I let Mr. Johnson respond to you. Thanks for calling back. Glad you called early, though. Go ahead.
Caller, I just wish you were still listening. And I endorse things you were saying, but I just want to piggyback on what you already said, and just individuals being able to get what they want. The same thing could apply to the Chinese. And, without any question, as my host said, he was puzzled because the person who came in the taxi, the fluency of the English was not as clear. But how we became a taxi driver and how we allowed the Chinese pretty much almost devour everything that's Bahamian. And I liken them to like vampires. They're just sucking the economic blood because they ain't really doing nothing back in this country. If 20 of them in one house, the 20 of them gonna live there, and there ain't no money coming out of the house. Everything is going to go in and they're going to stay in there.
Not only staying, they send it back to the homeland.
But when I say staying, I mean they ain't coming back out in the
I didn't want to bring up the Chinese, right? Because the Chinese is a different category. See, it's not much Chinese here as Haitian. It's not much Chinese as Jamaican here in the Bahamas. But the Chinese, although their numbers are the smallest, they're doing the most damage. Let me tell you, they're not doing damage where they're throwing garbage on the ground or on the road or things like that. They're sucking the economic life, like how you say it. The economic life. They're popping up. Let me tell you something. I buy Parby's on Wolf Road, right? Some years ago. And I'm on Wolf Road, right there by Stephen Dillett. I mean, Stephen Dillett share one wall. The policy that is known for successive government is that no bar can be constructed since that policy or law was passed. I don't know which one it is. But 700 feet within the school. Stephen Dillett, the property where I have is only, I think it's 87 feet wide. And across the road, the Chinese just open up a one for all shop where they sell food, sell beers, sell rum, sell cigarettes, sell everything, right? Right across the road from me. You could walk on my yard, cross and walk on the road and walk across the road. Went on Wolf Road, right by Darling Lane, right by Stephen Dillett. How is it that the policy was never announced that it's changed, or the law was announced that it's changed? 700 feet from any school boundary. And they open up a bar right across the road. And my yard, I had a bar. When I buy it at the bar because that's where Parby's used to be, the former Peter Bell, former PLPMB. So I meet that they've been there from 1930, so they never made them move because it was there before the school going there. And the Chinese opened up a bar right across from me, 50 feet, 60 feet from me, and about 90 feet from the school. Who's approved these stuff inside the town and planning? I mean, who these people is? They can't be Bahamians who approving these things. I talked to a senior police officer and I said, I bring it to his attention when I find out the Chinese is moving there. He said, that ain't happen. When he see them open up, he said, boy, I don't understand that. And he don't understand how that can happen. Because it ain't supposed to happen.
But you see,
Right?
you see, the
And,
danger,
you know,
the danger, the part of that is they can get the kind of license you can't get.
But
Because
I
they can
never,
sell everything.
no, but I can't say that because I never tried it. I don't know what the license say. I never got a chance to read it.
Right.
If I get a chance to read it, I'll try it.
Okay.
And then I expose it. You see?
Try it.
'Cause, no, I'm telling you, I never get to read, they never put it to the front. They must put it there when a person who works for government walk in from the licensing authority or something. But they don't put it there ordinary citizen can see. They don't care about you.
No,
They don't worry with Bahamians. Listen, 3 sets of people in this country who like Bahamian. Chinese, number 1. Indians, number 2.
And Bahamians
And Jamaicans.
And Bahamians is number 3, right?
No, Jamaicans.
Okay.
Don't like Bahamians. Trust me. Mark my word, eh? I know what I'm telling you. Don't let anybody fool you. Listen to me. The Bahamians are being taken advantage of this country, right? And not a shot is being fired, meaning that they doing silently. You watch it. You turn to the corner of Market Street. Market Street. After you pass, right opposite Flowers. The corner right opposite Flowers number shop. On Market Street. After you pass the Gibbs corner.
Chapel Street.
I know what she carry you to the 7 days of Military Bay Milo Butler food stores. The same corner would carry you to Blue Hill Road there.
Wellington Street.
Yeah, I must see Wellington Street. Right there, man, the church on one side and Milo Butler on the next side. The church on one side, Wesley Methodist Church.
That's Chapel Street.
Whatever straight to them.
Yeah.
You go there. Chinese get tin up on the wall. Right? They get a high wall. And they got tin that you can't see inside there. But the wall ain't high enough for you to see on the roof. The whole roof is solar. Right? So there ain't burning no current. Right? The contribution from these foreigners in this country is so minute. Right? The black poor people is carrying the burdens of the taxes in this country. And like we tied a tree. Right? And we can't get loose. Because when they release you with one thing, they triple up on something else. Right? They ain't contributing to paying no bills in this country. You know where you see Chinese on any line. They don't patronize the Bahamian businesses. You don't see no business restaurant. They don't contribute to the economy. They live upstairs and shop downstairs, so they don't drive to burn no gas. I mean, you can't blame them, but it's just something that we allow. So why we allow them to have business all about? I mean, they're using, because some Bahamians, it got to be some Bahamians selling this out. Because in order for them to get all these licenses, Bahamians have to be putting the license in their name to have these Chinese. It's got to be something. You never see a Chinese lockup. They buying stolen goods from these truckers who working for these major wholesalers, and the trucker who thief it can go to jail. The police go get the stuff from the Chinese shop, but the Chinese don't come to court. They must run this country. Primetime and independent. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Marlon?
You're live.
Douglas, man, y'all got a good show going on tonight.
Yeah, go ahead. You're live. What's happening in Freeport, old boy? Google Mason.
Hey, man, listen. I hear over the air. You remember the statement I made the other day?
Go ahead. Remind me.
I remind you that somebody was getting something from somewhere. They want a boy.
Oh, no. See, what happened is, the accusation was made that they gave them $5 million, but he denied that, or he said that the PLP should say how much they get. But I don't think that the PLP get any money from that organization, because the PLP has now exposed some things.
I told you that.
Yes, sir.
I told you that. Now, you gonna tolerate me?
Yes, sir. Don't call no accusation. Just don't say nothing that I ain't got the proof. I gotta have the proof first. If I got the proof, then you don't put no. You can just talk generally of things, but don't be specific.
Yes, but Marlon, I send you the pictures and everything.
I got that, but I'm saying to you, when you speak generally. Speak generally. Don't call nobody name. Don't refer to persons where they know exactly what it is. You can speak generally that you know of facts or things that you know.
Yeah, but Marlon, guess what happened?
Okay.
Everybody came to demonstrate FAMs, PLPs, and everybody else came to demonstrate against the highway and the Freeport Power Company and the Port Authority.
Right.
He sided the leader of the opposition. Now, you know tonight, he organized a thing called Stand Up the FNM to, you know what I mean, to say he's protesting against the power company and the port authority.
Man, you listen. He trying to pull a Donald Trump on you. Remember I tell you that, eh? Donald Trump announced that he will get 95% of the black people vote. The only way that can happen if only one black person will vote, and that's Tim Scott. Yeah, go ahead.
That's what's happening, man.
Yeah, radio man, listen to me. What's happening in Freeport? Because you know the ghetto news have it that Hiram Lewis won't be getting the nomination. This is only the Ghetto News Network. This is official from the FNM. That Hiram Lewis will not be getting any nomination in Freeport. That Dr. Hubert, the Honorable Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis wouldn't be getting no nomination in Delaport. They saying that Renwood Wells wouldn't get no nomination in Pinewood. This is only from the Ghetto News Network. This is not from the official opposition, the Free National Movement. And that about 5 or 6 of them wouldn't be getting no nomination. And they also have it that the former Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Peter Turnquest, is on his way back.
Now, listen to me, Marlon.
Hey.
Marlon, you want to hear something?
Go ahead. Make sure don't call nobody name, bro.
I ain't going to name, Marlon.
All right.
Do you realize that the former Prime Minister of the Bahamas is on his way back? Dr. Hubert Minnis?
Who?
Because he has...
Hold on now. Let me get that clear now. Hold on. Can I write this down for the Ghetto News Network? Go ahead.
He has 3 guys on the side, and he's getting ready to go to the Governor General to put a vote of no confidence against Pintard. He will wait for the right time.
No, Pintard can't no vote of no confidence. Pintard is not the Prime Minister.
You could.
No, why don't you listen, man? Listen to me. No, why won't you listen to me? Pintard is not the... Listen to me. Pintard is not the Prime Minister. Pintard can have a shuffle if you get 3 out of 5.
Marlon.
If you listen to me, man, why don't you listen? If you get 3 out of 5 members of the opposition who claims that they no longer support Pintard, he gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Minutes got them. Minutes got Central Grand Bahama, East Grand Bahama, and he has also Long Island on his side.
Well, then he could make that move long then. Because that same move was put on him. Yeah. That same move was put on him from Loretta Ballaternum.
Listen, he's just waiting to see how saucy the leader right now gonna be. He cannot make a move because he can't make a move because Minutes got him in his pocket.
Who can't make a move?
The leader of the opposition cannot make a move right now because Minutes got a Trump card on him.
Yeah, but he couldn't make a move. But see, they right now in the newspaper last week, the chairman of the Free National Movement stated that no one is guaranteed a nomination until the election cycle start and the party renominates them. Don't care if you're incumbent or not. So all I said, listen to me.
Minutes is coming back. Minutes got the Trump card.
Minutes, listen to me. Let me say it to you clearly so you don't confuse. Listen. Minutes can take all. Let me say minutes. Let me say I'm talking like you now. The former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, cannot take over the FNM like that. He can take over the opposition. Remember now.
Yes.
Loretta Butler Turner, listen. Oh man, you ain't listening, man. If you don't listen, you ain't get it. Loretta Butler Turner take over the opposition, but she was never the leader of the FNM. You remember that?
Yeah.
So if Dr. Minnis take over the opposition, he will not be leader of the FNM until they have a convention and he's voted in. So he'll be given the office for the opposition. He'll be given the car. He'll be given the police. He'll be given the $60,000 or $5,000 a month salary. But he won't, he'll be noticed and recognized as the official opposition leader by His Majesty the King. What I'm saying to you, he cannot take over the FNM. He can't take over the FNM. You can't just take over the FNM because you become the opposition leader. It don't happen like that.
Listen to me. He can do it to them. Yeah, they don't have a convention.
But I give you, I have to go to a break, but I'll tell you before you go to the break.
Yeah,
that will not happen with him taking over the Free National Movement as long as the Right Honorable, former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram is breathing after the break. We're going to take a second commercial break. After the break, we're going to continue our conversation with my special guest, Mr. Nolan Johnson. He's in the chair. We're live at Love 97.5 FM.
Cancer. It's a word no one wants to hear. But at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, we hear it every day. It's a word we've dedicated our lives to overcoming by changing the way patients are treated. And now we're part of City of Hope, which is one of the nation's top 10 cancer hospitals. Together, we'll combine leading-edge clinical research with precision cancer treatment, so we can be there when you need us most. So when you hear the word cancer, there's another word that should come to mind. Hope. Call now.
You've dreamt it. You've worked hard for it. And now you've got it. You deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor and know that you're covered in case of a disaster, like an unexpected fire or a vehicular collision. At Magic Insurances, we focus on settling your claims quickly and fairly so you can get back to enjoying your life. Magic Insurances. Fast, fair, and always there.
My name is Nolan Johnson, a.k.a. Independent Eagle. Listen, Albert Cartwright. Why are you cussing? Albert Cartwright. Dan, listen to me. Listen, Dan say Donald Trump. Say Donald Trump is leading in every poll. Dan, I need you to stop it, man. I really was to ask the question about the great debate. Anyone who's out there who like American politics, if you have some comments to make a reference to the last debate, because the former president, 47th president of the United States, he said that he win the debate, but he ain't bought no more debate. He bought that no more. He said he win the debate. So he win the debate, and I must say that I'm a staunch supporter of the Republican Party, but not this one. I support, and I don't vote, but I offer no kind of support and sympathy for Donald Trump. And, the kind of things what came out of how persons talk about, they couldn't rent apartments and how they talk about when they were doing more different about black people. Not me. This one, I supporting the Democratic nominee for the first time, and maybe only time in my lifetime, just to make sure that the Donald Trump get beat. I supported him when he ran against Hillary Clinton. I supported him wholeheartedly, man. I prayed for him to win, and he did. But this time, I ain't bother with that, because he ain't got no plan for the world, man. And like how she say, he'll be a laughing stock for persons like the woman down inside the Caribbean, right? What's she name? What her name is? She's
in Barbados.
In Barbados. Man, she's brilliant. Motley? Yeah, she's brilliant, and she show the capabilities that a woman can have. She's one of them. I hope she continuously be a role model for women, so that women can be encouraged, and they don't have to take the nonsense that these men who trying to be women.
Why don't we say just a role model as a leader? And it's all right to put the sex tag to it, but the world need better leaders, whether they male or female.
Yeah, but some woman being Margaret Thatcher was the strongest leader in England.
The world need better leaders, whether they men or women.
Right.
They need better leaders.
But listen, men being controlling it all the time, Mr. Johnson, and men are not manning up to their responsibility, ability, and capabilities that they should. Because plenty of them are trying to spend too much energy and time trying to be women. Especially for another day.
Well, one of the things that was prevalent throughout the ages, and women are still trying, in my view, to fully walk through that door. The door is open. And when I say there's still the image that you're a woman, so you can't qualify for this, or whatever.
Them days gone.
No, but-
Because Mr. Johnson, I could right now, next, when you come, I can let you come back here shortly, right? Maybe after next show, maybe next show.
Okay.
And I could give you the leaders
Okay.
of the world right now. And so much of them are women. I could give you the names of them, and listen, I thought, but they are taking their, because these man, listen to me, these man are not man enough, Mr. Johnson. See, me and you are alpha males, you know. But these man, they picking up these women, leaving them to struggle with their children, to make, they don't, how they, and if a woman ain't gonna go with them, and they ain't gonna take care of their child, and, so that's why women got to take on these roles that was not accustomed, and it's painful and stressful because they're not used to it. And they were not built to be. The Lord get a woman was built from one rib.
There is still that presupposition out there that the women in general have fully arrived on the stage. No, not yet. They somewhere on the stage, but they haven't fully.
Kamala Harris win. The ceiling breaks her.
Hey, listen,
I might tell you that.
listen,
you see what Taylor Swift do after this debate.
Listen.
Taylor Swift is one of the youngest.
There was a woman in Israel called the mayor. You remember her?
No, I remember.
Oh my goodness. You think Thatcher was a strong woman? Thatcher probably learned some things from her. She was strong. She was a strong woman. Okay? So, yes, women have reached that pinnacle. But I don't think enough of reaching it.
Oh, you say that enough women ain't reaching it?
Yeah.
No, but I don't want that. No, it's about, listen to me.
Yeah, I said no one has
Listen to
reached
me.
it.
I's a fella like this. I don't hide that. I ain't got no church with a woman preaching. You wasting your time. No, I being honest. I's a straight up fella. I ain't gonna church with a woman preaching. Right? But I don't mind women taking over all leadership. You know why? These man, them, all they gonna do is keep sweetheart, make baby, and then leave him with these women to struggle. They hoping the next man who she get, help her. You know what I said? I'm telling you, if you right now do a survey, an honest survey of the level that men have women struggling, then you'll understand. These men them what this way. If they can't go with them, they ain't gonna get a child would look like them. I don't but special image, and they ain't what they get them. They feel like if they can't sleep, they can't eat. The child can't eat because they can't sleep. That's the mentality that men today. And these men, they asking man for money now. They asking you, give me $1, and you got 2 hands and do what? Get from around me. Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
Well, times have changed, and we're not seeing the kind of what I say, if I should say it in this way, you don't see the kind of men that we grow up with.
You?
Some of them, I say we.
You grow up.
No, we.
I ain't say my daddy yet.
No, I
You
say
see?
men. I say men. I didn't just say father.
Oh.
I say men. We had some men that we grew up with that we idolize. We had some men that we look up to. We had some men, because you wouldn't be the kind of person you is today if there was what I call a total void of a male figure in your life. Whether it was your father, your uncle, or brother.
You know, father.
I say whether it was.
My uncles have never been around me.
Well,
Just that I grew up around the church in South Andres. Used to go to church in Pleasant Bay, preschool, and things like that. You go to church 3 days a week, Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Sunday again. 3 days a week. And you just choose which road. I have brothers who ain't choose the road I take. I have brothers today who live in, who we come from the same ma, and they ain't take the same road I take, right? It's just something that you want to do, right?
True.
And my daddy still living today based on my understanding. Still living today, and he never called me. He never called me, never say, boy, how you doing, or, or say you need any advice or on anything. He never. So he cared for me. I mean, he sent me one time from through my auntie. But even he asked for my number. Even he said, boy, since you could reach him, find out how I could reach him. Get his number. He even give my number, even he called me. So I grew up fatherless, and I refuse to let any woman who have children with me, for my children them to grow up and have a heart. I will spend every dollar to make sure they have the best life ever.
Good man.
You know why? They ain't experience. When you reach a certain age and you could defend for yourself, you don't need no daddy. Get up and work. Go and sweat in the hot sun. And the Bible tell you, sweat your eyebrow, you eat bread. Meaning that you could be able to make your own sunshine. But when you've been a child, it's small, that's the time they really want their daddy and their parents to sort of get little things that they can't work and buy. When you get big man, you don't need no daddy, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, you need no daddy. Listen, politics, of course,
I know.
the time break up right.
I know.
But I bring you here today because we're supposed to talk about this program that you have started, and it's very good. And I feel that what can happen when you start talking about it, some people can now try to find out how you could bring this program to them. I tell you the effects that's happened when you're doing things that make sense and that are good. Go ahead and let the people know what you're doing about this tennis. And they don't know, some people don't know that, because when I tell Mr. Green today, who's been the breakfast crew at McDonald's on Thompson Boulevard, and I tell him about you, he said, he don't know you. He said, he don't know
Every
you
time,
play no tennis.
every time I go into McDonald's, we don't chat long, but I do hail him, and we hail, and we
And
always.
he don't remember you playing tennis. He said,
I know,
I said, I
know.
said, Mr. Nolan Johnson and
I know.
shake.
I know,
And
I know.
beat you double your score
I know,
if
I
you
know,
go to the corner.
I know, I know.
He's been telling that.
I know. Well, Bahamas, I just want to just share an initiative that I have undertaken. And this initiative is one that started 2 years before I retired. And my goal was to take tennis into South Andres, because that's my hometown, that's where I was born, and introduce the game of tennis to the kids. But like they say, nothing before its time. And sometimes there is what I call that waiting period. But that waiting period is the period to see, sometimes to challenge your how should I say it? Whether you have the tenacity to continue. Because sometimes when we start things and it doesn't work out right away, it just falls by the wayside, primarily because we just don't have the stickability to it. And finally, it started to take root, and it pretty much started to take root last year when over the Emancipation Day holiday, and we was able to take some equipment down in South Andres, and we ended up on the tennis courts in the Bluff by the complex, and we introduced the game of tennis to some kids, and it was 11 showed up, which was a good number for the first time tennis was ever played or ever introduced to South Androsians, which was a milestone in itself. That event caused me to work a little harder, and I asked and I tried to garner some help, and was able to garner some help. which was good. So this year, we was able to send 29 rackets to Andres. We sent 10 in the north and 19 in the south. And we've had some beneficiaries, or benefactors rather, who pretty much say, okay, I would support your initiative. And now we're hoping, it's our hope, that when tennis goes to another island, how tennis was developed in Andres would be like the benchmark for tennis going to any other island that doesn't have tennis. And there are some islands that doesn't have tennis at this time. But also we need to keep in mind too that unlike when some of these kids who were like 9 and 10 could hold a tennis racket, when I was age 9 or 10, there was no place in the Bahamas for black underprivileged children to play tennis. And so the initiative that we're starting now is one, hopefully, we're hoping to bear many fruits in the long run. Just to let you know what we some were doing here in Nassau, we have free tennis lessons for kids every Saturday morning at the Flamingo tennis courts.
Hold on now. I said it slow so they could catch it.
Okay.
Free tennis lesson.
We have free tennis lessons every Saturday morning, 9 to 11.
9/11.
At the Flamingo tennis court, right next to Sejel Cash Primary School.
All right, okay. All right. So if there anybody who, you don't have to be from that area,
Just-
once you want your kids to be a part of that tennis, that particular sport, you bring them in 9/11 at the Flamingo tennis court by closest to Gerald Cash Primary School.
Right,
Okay.
yeah. The only thing we ask for is to give your kids $1 to help defray the cost of water and juice.
Okay.
That is ongoing every Saturday, and we will continue, and we would work whether we have 1 or 2 or 3 kids.
Mhm.
There was a time when we had almost 30. But if 2 show up, we work with 2. If 3, we work with 3. So whatever, or whoever shows up, we work with that.
And sports is a good thing for kids. I mean, it not only keep them active, but I mean, it keeps them out of problem. They keep their mind occupied, you know, and it's good for their, you know, their development in sport. Because some may become exceptional, and it's big money when you become at a big level.
Well, right now, you do see signs of these young kids that they have something, and tennis helps them to develop life in a holistic way.
Because tennis is very quick. You have to move very often, you know, very fast and very quick, very often.
You know, when I think about 5,600 kids or children getting out of high school every year,
Mhm.
it would be great. It would be great if we could get 200 of those kids on a tennis scholarship. It would be great.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it would be great.
So they have. Do they have colleges that
Yeah,
have
that's why I say that.
very
Yeah,
competitive meets?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, you because if you don't become a great player that you could go on the tour, you may get your education
Right, from the scholarship.
from the scholarship.
Right, right.
That alone is priceless, or is
So
worth.
do you have a organization set up where persons can offer scholarship. Like the Life and Key Foundation, some rich persons in this country, philanthropists, you got to pronounce it?
Philanthropists.
Say it again?
Am I saying it right?
Okay, you said the same thing. We got it?
Philanthropist.
Philanthropists. Maybe those that she got in English.
Our tongue get a little heavy with the word.
We got plenty persons who love to be a part of brilliant people. And they'll offer monetary funding to assist. And persons like Sabas, Adrian Fox, and got some plenty others who don't mind their wealth be shared, a portion of their wealth be shared to assist persons who have great intentions and help, who need help to expand. Because some of the persons who on the stage, you wouldn't like to hear their stories, how they get to the level they are.
True.
Right.
And you know, with tennis, it's almost the same pathway, because for me, I don't want to be the one to say that, well, I develop someone who's a professional. No, this thing goes what I call in stages. You may see that person never played tennis before at age 4 or 5, and maybe by age 7 or 8, you have to give that person to somebody else to continue.
Right.
The biggest mistake we can make is holding on to someone too long.
Stagnating their ability.
Sometimes we stagnate their development and their growth. Right. We have to know when to pass it on.
Right.
Sometimes the quicker you're able to pass it on.
Though can the Bahamas use tennis? Like have you host the Orange Bowl or some bowl, Popeye Bowl or something like that? And then you have Atlantis, Battle of Atlantis. Is there a market for tournaments, tennis tournaments with school kids and high school and low school kids, where we could forge a organization where we have that particular sport highlighted in the Bahamas, where foreign schools can or colleges can participate? Is there organizations like that you could?
The Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association, which is the governing body for tennis in the country, their primary role is to be a facilitator for the growth and the development of tennis. The Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association by itself needs as much help as it can get. What we're doing with what we call cell groups is what needs to be done. When you see someone and you pretty much start to see that they have potential, that's when they turn over and say, okay, Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association, this person you're saying is becoming along pretty good. Now we're passing them on to you. It's like going from the primary school, then you go to
junior school,
and then you go to high school,
and college.
Then college. It's almost the same thing. It's a pathway. You just don't hold them because you want to look good as a coach. It's best to guide them. But there are a number of young Bahamian tennis players right now, male and female. We send kids away 10 and under, 12 and under, 14 and under. Go to South America, go to Caribbean, and for tennis. The question you asked about tennis as a viable sport here in the Bahamas, I think there is what they call the Junkanoo Classic. I know they used to have it. I think that used to be a part of the ITF, a sanctioned ITF tournament that used to play here in the Bahamas, like either early November or early December, around the middle of December. Used to play here. So you have a lot of
anything. I just feel like that. Anything that could help kids develop and be a part of where they get scholarship, because plenty of persons You know, they want their children to be educated. You know, but they only could want.
They don't have the means.
They don't have the ability.
They don't have the means.
Because the struggle is real,
Yeah.
and plenty of places in this country are living from paycheck to paycheck because it's a system that maybe they don't want to be in, but that's what they find themselves in. And not because a person born in the Grove or born in Petroleum Street or born in Angliston mean that they are not brilliant, that they're not smart, that they're not talented, they don't have the ability. But the opportunity is so small and so minute or so micro. Sometimes their chances are limited, so many persons don't get a chance to do it. But go ahead.
I'll tell you what. You onto something very poetic, and that is, I'm about the only one on New Providence that's giving children free tennis lessons, and I'm doing that for the same reasons you just described. It is like being a prospector looking for gold. You have to go through the rubbles and the stones and everything before you may find a gem, or before you may find a gold nugget. That's like what I'm doing now.
Yeah, because what you could get
And once the kids come out,
once the kids come out, and they start to take up on the skills that you
right, you see that's it. But we need more of that.
Okay. Because the more you be able,
most of the people
find,
can't afford to pay for lessons.
Right.
So we need more of
and I'd like to see, and my businesses wouldn't mind putting up a sponsor if you would have tournaments and they allow you to advertise your business to assist in pulling over. Because when you encourage foreigners to come to the Bahamas, our number one industry is tourism. And if you could get that level where tournaments can be held, right? Where tournaments can be held and Bahamians can be exposed to a different level, and it encouraged them, right? To be more devoted, committed to the sport, and then be able to maybe showcase their talent and their ability.
Well, that is a part and parcel of the development of tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get enough kids involved, because we need those 5 and 6 year olds, we need those 5, 6, and 7 year olds.
Mm-hmm.
We need them more than we need the 10 and because by the time it's they're 10,
they're at a different level.
You want to say, okay, this looks like could be a world beater by age 12. Because by 14, if you're a world beater by 14, continue to play the game, you may get a scholarship to get your education to that point. But we need the numbers. We're not going to get it out of maybe 30. We may need 600 to maybe seat 3. We may need 600 just to maybe seat 3. Because we had 2 players that I wouldn't say put the Bahamas on the map, but really served this country well in tennis. Roger Smith, no, in tennis, not baseball.
Tennis. That's baseball.
Mark Knowles and Roger Smith. These 2 guys kept the Bahamas at the Davis Cup level in Zone 1 for a number of years. When they were gone, we're at the bottom of the pile now.
Again.
We need new Mark Knowles and Roger Smiths.
Right.
We need plenty of young children at age 4 and 5 to start to develop.
Right.
What I'm trying to do, along with my 2 assistants, and they're volunteers. Just there's no cash in it, and that's why I like these guys to death, because you can hardly get people to pay them.
They come to work when you pay
them.
them.
Let alone volunteer.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a call on the line? Primetime Independent, go ahead, call up.
Yes, I want to have an input about what the gentleman is saying about Roger Smith, which is a Jerusha bar out of Freeport, San. My grandfather, Ronald Gordon, president of the Tennis Association, and Dame Bertha Isaacs, and the 50s and late 40s, late 50s, they traveled the USA playing tennis together. Justice John Isaacs' grandmother, Dame Bertha Isaacs, she was known to be a tennis player, and my grandfather, Ronald Gordon.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
You're absolutely right. You're
Call
absolutely
up, you
right.
flat all the time. You flat out. It's 9 o'clock.
Thanks for
You're
calling.
flat out. Thanks, I appreciate the call, but you call a little too late. You flat all the time, so you try to call a little earlier so you can be able to get more time.
Okay, so tennis, the Isaacs, they're known to be tennis players. Bobby Isaacs,
Yes.
Stinky Minky Isaacs,
Yes. Absolutely.
they're legendary tennis players.
Yes,
And the
they are.
Gordons.
Yes, they are.
All right, thanks, caller. We flat all the time. Yeah. Listen, you can wrap up, because
Well, you know, if anyone would like to
volunteer or be a part,
or
contribute, or
whatever they would like, whatever
Donate
role they would like to,
water,
whatever role they would like to play,
juice, Gatorade,
whatever
whatever.
they would like to play. My email address is njohnsonsenior, all lowercase, njohnsonsenior, and the senior is just sr at gmail.com.
So that's N Johnson Senior. That's SR, not SENIOR. SR. That's N Johnson Senior at gmail.com.
Right, and my cell number is 468-9187.
Say it again.
468-9187.
468-9187. Johnson, I want to thank you for coming. You know the time is pretty rough when you come, because
Oh,
we
yeah.
just have a good conversation, a dialogue back and forth. We don't agree on everything, but you know that's part of life. I want to thank you for coming, man. I really enjoy the conversation with you every single time.
There you go.
Nolan
Appreciate
Johnson.
it. Appreciate it.
Tonight's show was brought to you by our banner sponsor, the City of Hope. The former Cancer Society of America is now the City of Hope. Global Insurance, that's Tina and crew out Sandy Port for all your insurance need. May it be industrial, residential, commercial, marine, health, life, whatever an insurance you need. Vehicle, apartments, houses, whatever you need in insurance. Give Global Insurance a call. That's Tina and crew out Sandy Port, 601-0006. 601-0006. Nagico Insurance, that's on Markey Street, right next to the Salvation Army. When you come from down off the bridge, when you come off the Paradise Island Bridge, as soon as you cross the light after you pass the government library, you'll see the Salvation Army right next door. It's a pretty green and white building. Nagico Insurance, listen, they are the underwriters for Global Insurance, or whatever Global Insurance order. They also offers the same thing. That's Nagico Insurance on Markey Street, the main head office of Global Insurance. Vinton Barbershop on Enfield Road. Listen, go ahead and get your perfect cut. Tell Vinton you heard us out on Primetime with Independent Tinker, and try to get a little 5 or 10% discount. Bits, that's Bahamas Ink and Toner Solution. Bahamas Ink and Toner Solution Bits on Mount Royal Avenue. That's 328-5249. 328-5249. If you're doing some printing, they're giving you plenty homework. The school is open back up. They're giving you plenty homework to do and plenty schoolwork. Listen, give Bits a call at 328-5249. I bought a Epson 3210 printer from there, and it gave me some 78, almost 8,000 pictures. I printed before I had to add new ink. That's the Epson printer at Bits, B-I-T-S. The best and lowest price in town. I want to end the show with a quote from the great late Sir Leonard Oscar Penland. If Bahamians aren't prepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas,